So that's a COVID-19 patient, Nina Kodat, was in conversation with Biggie Sister's producer, Mohale Moloi, explaining essentially, Mia, the impact that long COVID has had on her life. But let's begin at the beginning, so to speak. What is long COVID?
So long COVID is when you experience COVID-like symptoms for longer than 28 days or for up to 28 days. And those symptoms can be new symptoms or they can be the symptoms that you experience in the first month of COVID. And very often long COVID patients get very tired, they have very bad headaches, they have shortness of breath and they struggle to concentrate very much. But let's find out from another COVID patient what it is like to live with COVID. So Sarawat Ajam spent 106 days in an intensive care unit because of COVID and a total of 6 months in Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town. He joins us on the line from Cape Town now to tell his story. Thanks for your time, Mr. Ajam. The day that you went to hospital, did you think you would have to fight COVID for this long?
Absolutely not. Initially, it was just a flu-type symptom, but I was well aware of COVID itself, and not taking the chances, though. When I felt worse after I've seen my GP the next day, I thought to myself, well, like the other lady explained, with your fatigue, your headaches, the weakness in your body aches and things like that, I immediately asked my daughter to take me up to Groote Schuur Hospital. And that's when I discovered that I contracted somewhere, I contracted this serious disease. And when I arrived there at that day, they just placed me in a wheelchair. I was wheeled in through the entrance, and I just collapsed. I blacked out, and that is the last I know when I was admitted to that hospital.
Mr. Abbott, tell us a little bit about your recovery journey. What kinds of treatment did you have to undergo to get to the point where you could be discharged from the hospital?
Well, being in the COVID ward, it was like just over 2.5 months, I was comatose completely. And during that period, I lost all the working of my muscles in my body. I became completely paralyzed. So here already it was a seriously long journey for me. Not being able to move, not being able to help, not being able to speak. I've been on a ventilator. I was told having heart problems during this whole experience, having lung problems, developing kidney problems, and many other problems like diarrhea and acute pneumonia. I challenge these people at every single corner. And thank God, I have to say, firstly, all praise has to go to God Almighty for being so merciful and graceful. And secondly, I have to thank a great medical team that supported me and that never ever gave up. Never, and this is a thought that sits with me, that fought for my life really, in order for me to survive this pandemic. But like I said, the support in itself is absolutely great from every single division, and there were doctors from every single department and every single person.
Mr. Ajam, just hold that thought there. I want to ask you one more question before we run out of time. I would like to know today, what does your life look like? Do you still have symptoms?
You know what? After 6 months, the doctors, my doctor, the personal doctors, the two main doctors, Dr. Richard van Zyl-Smith and Dr. Jenna Mercy, came to me and said to me, you know what, Mr. Ajam, today it is such a great delight for us to announce that you are completely COVID-free. And I was excited myself, really excited. And since then, I was so determined to get my life back together, although it's a very tough journey. I was so determined to get my life back together. I worked extremely hard with the physio team, with the lung clinic, the aftercare, if I could say that. And I'm still seeing my doctors in the aftercare. They're still amazed at my current journey. And having that type of support made me feel very confident that I will make an absolutely complete recovery of this COVID, even though it is now, over a year and a half.
Thank you very much for time and sharing your story with us, Mr. Ajam. That was Sarawat Ajam. He is a long COVID survivor speaking to us from Cape Town.